Ideas shape the world. They give meaning, direction, and possibility. I'm Willie Pietersen, former CEO, Columbia professor, and author of Leadership, The Inside Story, an exploration of the principles that have shaped my leadership journey. Some ideas last for centuries. Others emerge and redefine how we lead. This is Ideas That Matter. The stunning thing about African wisdom is that it's been handed down by word of mouth over centuries. You won't find it in libraries, but it's just as profound as Greek, Roman, or ancient Eastern wisdom. And so I've collected these because it's so informative. My uncle in South Africa had a farm, and I used to go there on school holidays and interact with the black staff who were there, very tribal people, and sometimes listen to their deliberations, and was stunned by their knowledge of nature, of family life, of the human condition. And I thought, my goodness, and I wrote down some of these. I've got them here, and they're amazing. Mm-hmm. I'll give you some examples.
Please.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It's deeply profound. It's back to the short-term, long-term thing, right?
Yep.
One I really like a lot, Desmond Tutu used to repeat this one a lot. I am because you are. We make a difference to each other. We are social animals, and we make a difference. I am because you are. Just a great formulation. The other one about adaptation to change. Even in those tribal ancient times, they said, when the music changes, so does the dance. Well, I think this tells us today, the music is changing out there. We've got to change the dance in here. So again, it applies to modern life. Here's the next one. What counts is not the number of seeds that you scatter. It's the number of seeds that you nurture. Priorities. You have limited resources. You have to decide where your points of leverage lie and concentrate on those. Always keep the main thing the main thing. One I often use comes next here. When you've made a mistake, don't look where you fell. Look where you slipped. That's the diagnostic thing. So often when we fail, we say, well, we've failed here. We have to do better. But the cause of our failure lies maybe 2 or 3 steps before. And that's the diagnostic thing. Don't look where you fell, look where you've slipped. Often when people are not implementing very successfully, they don't say, don't just try harder. What is it that you did before that in a chain of events that have caused this? And often it's lack of clarity, lack of understanding of what we need to do, poorly defined priorities. And then the final one is about addressing reality. What we're talking about through asking questions. And it says, if you close your eyes to facts, you will learn through accidents. Now, the thing that's striking to me about those African proverbs, and I've mentioned a few that are on my list, they're in my book actually, is every single one of them is applicable in today's world. They're timeless. Mm-hmm. And that's really the value of great wisdom. Great wisdom is timeless. So I become a great admirer of this ancient tribal wisdom. And I wanted to be a scribe that wrote it down.
Mm-hmm, very good insights and obviously deep experience in life to be able to say those things. That's a tremendously valuable formula to follow if you are a business leader, no matter where in the business, in the areas that you affect. Just keep thinking, how am I thinking, feeling, and acting, and how am I helping others, infusing these thoughts into other people's life, being leadership. How do you see that in light of today's world in education? Is this a statement for liberal arts education then?
It's for a broadly based education.
Okay.
I think it's opening our lens and not looking at just our narrow tunnel. We challenge every day with leadership challenges, excruciating ones sometimes, wisdom in parenting. That's a very tough leadership challenge. But how do I learn about doing that well? Well, and maybe I learned some stuff about doing that well from the social sciences, from psychology, from social science, maybe from the military, maybe from business leaders who think broadly. Maybe I can get an inspiration from Mandela, a national leader. And so when we open the lens, we find better answers than we do just on very narrow areas of inquiry. So I find that's a critical thing to help people because it's about context. I think that real wisdom comes from connecting the dots. It's from seeing the connections between things that are sometimes hidden from us. And the most profound insights don't really come from analysis. They come from integrated thinking, synthesis, connecting the dots, seeing the connections between things. Now, a final thing that I just emphasize over and over in the educational field is that ideas are important and learning is important, but learning is never complete until it changes behavior. So we're doing it in the interests of we're learning our way into a new way of behaving. And that's really the answer. For me, the rest of it is abstract and fine. I mean, that's interesting. But at the end of the day, what we're asking ourselves as human beings is how should we act, right? So it's back to that philosophical triad of questions. What's true? What's important? And what's right? Now, you can add the fourth one, is how can I act on what's right? And at the end of the day, that's the bottom line. But now it becomes informed action. It becomes action based on a set of principles, on a set of learnings, that inspire others and help us cope with the changing world and adapt successfully to it. So I come back to the point that when it comes to leadership in the organizational sphere, the single most important responsibility is the sustainability of the organization. And look at the track record. We've got to turn it around. How we're going to do that? It's a big responsibility for organizational leaders. Is it going to go from 12 years of survival on average? Well, some last much longer. And it's a bell curve, obviously, they're averages. But if it keeps going in this direction, we're going to get into dire trouble. So, let's turn it around by becoming more successful at adaptation. That means we have to be better learners with better tools than we've ever been before.
Do you think that there are enough business leaders today thinking the way you're thinking to say we need to reinvent business, how we're putting businesses together and what we need to do so we can achieve that next level of adaptation?
A number of them are talking the language. I don't know how many of them have embedded practices to make it real. Mm-hmm. But they're really, redefining, reinventing businesses as adaptive systems. Mm-hmm. Because that's what success looks like over the long term, that you become an adaptive system with superior ways of sensing and responding to a constantly changing environment. And again, I come back to the point, these are not choices. These are laws imposed on us that constrain what we do and inform what we do. Yeah, I do see people recognizing this more and more and striving more and more. I don't see as much as I'd like to see about practical tools to help organizations become adaptive systems. Hi, I'm Willie Pietersen. Leadership is not about wielding power. It's about authenticity and inspiring others to achieve a shared purpose. Excelling as a leader is a continuous journey of pursuing ideas that matter as the environment shifts and new challenges emerge. Thank you for watching. Please share your ideas by leaving your comments below. We learn best when we learn together. And if you've enjoyed this discussion, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you again.